Very, very young, and everybody told me that that's why I was attracted to her, because I was Svengaling a happening. And then when it was all over and we left this Greek island, that we would go apart. She'd go back to her kids on the beach, and I would go back to people my age, which is 30 years older than she is. But we enjoy the same things, it turned out. That just happened to be a nice accident, a fringe benefit. But love came after that. I mean, you don't look at somebody and I don't think fall madly in love. I adore women, not just because they're beautiful and have beautiful bosoms, but because I like what's inside them. I think they're good people. I get on better with the person that I love 24 hours a day than I do with, friendships and things like that. And
do you
most
have any
people,
close friends other than Bo?
Yeah, not, yes.
A few.
I have a few. Ursula
Yes.
is a very, very close friend. But I loved Ursula and continue to love Ursula.
She's probably our closest friend, I would say.
I would
Wouldn't you
say the most faithful friend. I think Linda Evans, for those who don't know, whom I was married to, is very faithful.
Yes.
Linda and Ursula left me, so it's easier for me to be generous with Ursula.
Mm-hmm.
I somehow left Linda. I was not aware I was doing it, but I did do it. So it's harder for her to be gracious about it.
And I was involved in that.
And she was, the villainess in the piece, and so that's not as comfortable a relationship.
It would make Linda angry, I should imagine.
Well,
you would think so, but
I don't think it was anger so much as she felt betrayed. I don't think so much by me, although her friends told her I betrayed her, but I think betrayed by those that make us do what we do. And that's the guy up there or down there, whoever he is. This wasn't a premeditated thing that I thought, well, I got more miles out of Bo. She was younger.
You talked about being together as much as you are. And most husbands, wives, lovers, if they're together more than a week at a time without a vacation or going to the office,
then they're not lovers.
And what about the idea of divorce? Is that a thing against religion as far as you're concerned, Bo?
Nope.
Or would you have any...
I think it's when it's time, and when it's right, and it should be done quickly and easily, and it shouldn't drag on.
With Ursula, she was very, very young when we got together at Paramount. And Bo was very, very young. Linda was very young, not as young as Ursula and Bo. I guess I'd just meet them young before they're wise enough to know that I'm not the guy.
But why the anger and the temper tantrums?
I just get pissed off, and if I get pissed off and don't believe something is right, and everybody's saying, oh, it's all beautiful and lovely, I can't.
But I'm that way, too.
You were the producer of Tarzan. Mm-hmm. Tell us how that happened, and what did you learn, and what are you going to use for your next picture?
Everything is such a problem, and you can't worry about people's feelings too much. You can if they're innocent, but as soon as they're guilty of something, I think you can just get on with it and tell them so, and not be so nice about it. Because people were a lot of people were very rotten to us, and a lot of people said I was a monster on this one. They used to say that about him. Now they say it about me, too.
You were the monster for
Yeah, and I don't scream and yell. I don't do those things. It's just very quickly, I'd say it. I think it's better if you go home and we go on about our business and everything's fine. I don't really get the temper that he has. I don't have the volcanic reaction. But at the same time, people say it's very cold. But I learned that we don't have time to worry about those people. And life is much happier without them.
I've read that there are people that question, did you help the careers of the women you were married to? Or, in a sense, did not?
Well, I don't want to help. I would prefer they didn't have if I could go back and start from square one, I wish the world was born rich so that nobody had to do anything they didn't want to do, and that if you did love each other and wanted to be together 24 hours a day, nobody would be required to go out and work and take themselves away from you. So my truthers would be to anybody that I would be in love with is that they didn't have to have a career, nor would I have to have a career. We could just sit around and bill and coo and make whoopee or go water skiing or do something like that. Everybody that I was married to had a career when I met them,
before.
Bo included.
You must be very sure of yourself to the point where, if you think of the other three women, I don't know the first marriage from which you did have children. Is that correct, John? They're now older. I think one lives with
older.
you.
Yeah, they're older than Bo by quite a bit.
How old are they and where are they?
One of them is up on the hill here,
He's 30,
or more.
and he lives up here with us. And the daughter is 3 years old, 28. And I don't know what she's doing now. She just finished a film in Spain.
I think she's writing a Dear
she's
Mama or
written
something.
You mean a Mama
Dearie?
Mama Dearie.
Mama Dearies.
She's not crazy about you.
I don't think so.
She never has been.
Is that from the beginning or because you left?
I don't have the foggiest idea. It would take a fleet of psychologists to investigate that, and I don't think you'd ever come up with an answer.
But they're happier apart.
When I was father, I didn't give a shit. They were there. I mean, hell, they had to grow. I mean, I couldn't stop them from growing. They grew. But watching Bo grow, I'm wiser, and it's more
I've grown
spectacular.
A lot too.
And with children, the children come to you. I mean, you have an affair, and out of that come children occasionally. But I sort of hand-picked Bo, and so subsequently, it is what you chose.
Have you ever thought about having a family now? Or is that a little bit beyond your excitement now, John?
No, I'd like to. John has agreed to.
He
He doesn't. I wouldn't say he's excited about the opportunity.
Well, at 55, to start a family, it's a little old. Wayne
He doesn't
did.
want to plant trees around here because he won't be able
No, I
to
didn't
see
say I
them
didn't
grow.
want to plant them. I said it's not. I don't want a slow-growing tree because I'm not going to watch it. It's going to be this big, when I die. I want something that does it in a hurry, like a child. I mean, Duke had 2 families. And
Later than you.
Later than I.
He
Well, I
says,
said
okay,
fine. I
it's
said,
a girl.
Oh, blonde.
No, brunette.
I like brunettes.
He likes brunettes, but I don't think the hair color is much, but it has to be a girl. He wants to send it back if it's not.
People have fantasies about both of you sexually. Do you have sexual fantasies?
I don't have any unfulfilled sexual fantasies. I've been very fortunate that my fantasies are not so elaborate that I can't have them. And my fantasies are, sexual fantasies are making love to the person that you love. That without love, it's gymnastics. And Christ, I've never cared that much about exercise.
What does love mean, being in love mean to you?
Well, I know that if we are ever apart, sometimes we are apart. I'll drive someplace or he'll go someplace. And when something happens, something exciting or something terrible happens, I hate coming back and having to explain it to him. I mean, he should have been there. We should have done it together. That's just the way it's supposed to be. And I guess I take for granted and I expect that we are always together.
When the public says it's enough.
So you'll continue to make pictures as long as they continue to see it and just put up with the Hollywood.
Right, as long as they don't pay attention to it, as long as they are entertained, I assume. Although I don't see myself growing old and I don't like films that much. But I'm in a position, my God, to come from nothing, a little girl on the beach, to all of a sudden, I was offered after 10, $5 million to do 2 pictures. That's 20 weeks' work. And my life has become, in many ways, take the business side, and all that trauma and hysteria that goes along with that. It's a fairy tale. And the public is so kind and so nice. I can walk out on the street. No one treats me ever as though I've done anything pornographic or lewd or obscene or anything like that. I'm treated like some kind of royalty.
Do you think that because of your obvious, incredible physical beauty, and the fact that you actually look like you're blushing.
No, I do. I'm sitting next here across from you, and you say these things to me.
No, well, I can't sit across from you and not say that. And because of the sudden stardom that you achieved, do you feel that there's a need for you to say, look, there's a lot more to me than you people know, and I'm very serious about this movie business. Don't take me lightly.
No, I don't feel a need to tell the world that. That's what I do. If they are interested, I just hope they get it honestly. Where, as against what the press normally tells them, that John is my Svengali and puppeteer and all of that. These are my decisions. The films that we make are my decisions. When we came back and we started to cut, we edit the films ourselves, all by ourselves. When it came time to cut the love scenes, normally we do it together. This was me, all by myself. He wanted me to feel completely comfortable with, And he didn't even have any input, really. He wouldn't, I'd say, well, what do you think? He'd say, it's up to you, whatever you think. So many times I wish he were my Svengali. It gets very difficult, the decisions that I have to make sometimes. And I'd like to crawl under the table and say, okay, you take care of everything, and he won't. And it makes me very angry sometimes.
You've said very, very frequently in the press that you don't need to be a movie star. You don't need that kind of adulation to be satisfied
No.
with yourself.
No.
Do you envision someday just being in the ranch in Santa Barbara or wherever it is and just raising a family, tending your horses?
Yes. I don't know about the family so much. At one time I did want children. Now, I don't know, we've got 11 horses up there, 6 dogs and 4 cats, and they keep me very busy, and I see children, and I think, I don't know if that's for me. A child could very easily come between us because of our relationship, and I wouldn't want that to happen.
If you were writing a screenplay about your life, and you were coming to the very last scene before the closing credits roll, what image, what feeling would you like to leave people with in the theater?
At a ranch, riding horses and having lots of dogs, and not being in the public eye. And I really love animals. It would be with animals and John.